Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to talk about the letter W. This is W week, and if you joined us for Story Hour, you saw us do some experiments with water. Water, like in this glass jar, begins with the W. W makes the W sound. Can you think of anything else that begins with the W sound? If you said white, you are right. On my easel and on this dry erase board, poor man's dry erase board, it is a white color. You have a dry erase board in your May bags that looks like this. On one side, you have actually your name to practice for kindergarten, and on the other side is a blank white space. If you'd pause the video right now and go get this poor man's dry erase board, we're going to use this today along with your dry erase marker that is either blue or black, and we're going to practice writing the letter W. So go ahead and pause this video and go get those supplies. Now that you're back, let's talk about a few other things that begin with the W sound before we start practicing writing the letter W. We said water. We said white, like a white crayon. Something else that pops into my mind that you were given a couple of months ago, way back probably in March or April, are watercolors. These watercolors actually were my daughter Emma's, so her name is still on them. But watercolors, water begins with the W sound. And we're going to use these later in our video. I'm going to show you a little trick that you can try when it's all done. Another thing besides white, water, and watercolors that begins with the W sound is a watch. Now this is really a Fitbit, and many of your families have Apple Watches and Fitbits and those kinds of things. But ultimately, if you can tell the time on it in some way, shape, or form, like the numbers that are showing up right now on my watch, then it's a watch. Watch, white, water, watercolors, watermelon, like in the song Down by the Bay, where the watermelons grow, because a bay is a body of water, and watermelon begins with the W sound. I think there's one more thing that I can think of right now. There's a picture of back here. Do you see this? If it's on the W card, what do you think it is? It swims in the ocean. It's one of the largest animals in the world. There's another W word. It's a whale. This whale has a spout or a blowhole, and he can take a big breath through it and go down underneath the ocean water and stay there for a long time before he has to come back up and get another breath of air. Let's do a little practice writing now of the letter W. If you notice, it's made up of straight lines, but they're slanty lines. So when you make the W, you start at the top. You go slanty line down, slanty line up, slanty line down, slanty line up. And the capital W and the lowercase w look very much alike. The capital W is just big, and the lowercase w is just small. Can you see that? So it's slanty line up, Mrs. Anderson, look at me making a mistake. Slanty line down, do not pick up your pencil or marker. Slanty line goes back up, slanty line down, and slanty line back up. Let's try that on your poor man's dry erase board right now. You need to remember the rules of using a marker like this. Take the cap off and put it on the back so you don't lose it. When we practice writing this, I'm actually going to turn my body so you're probably going to see the back of my head a little bit so that I can do some good writing. I hope that your dry erase board is flat on the table or the floor in front of you. To make a W, you want to start at the top. Go slanty line down, slanty line up, slanty line down, slanty line up. That is not an easy letter to make. We have friends in our room, one friend in particular, whose name begins with the W sound, and he's had to work hard for weeks and weeks to make it. So if you can't make it right away, don't worry. When I think about making this W, I do want to pause and show you something. Slanty line down, slanty line up. That to me looks like the beginning of a triangle. And if I was to draw a line there, could you visualize what it would look like? So if you want to almost think about this as slanty line down, slanty line up like a triangle, or maybe the bottom of a diamond, then you would go slanty line down, slanty line up. And that's how you'd make the capital W. To make a lowercase w, it's the same concept, but you just make it littler or lowercase. So watch again. Slanty line down, slanty line up, slanty line down, slanty line up. My hope would be that after this video, you would fill this page with W's and practice. And if you were having trouble, you could have a mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or brother or sister make you some lines that look like this. And you could make sure that you made a slanty line down to the bottom line, slanty line up to the top line, slanty line down to the bottom line, slanty line up to the top line. And that would give you a little bit of structure. Parents, if this is really tricky for them, let them practice a little bit and then let it be. You could practice W's with chalk. You could also practice it with a big piece of paper or cardboard and markers, and they could be laying on their belly and supporting their arms like this. And when they do that, they're actually being able to put more force on their crayon or marker and can make lines better that way. It's actually a proven fact. So if this surface doesn't work, try something else another day so they don't get frustrated. W, W for whale, white, and water. Now, when you put your marker away, make sure the cap is on tight. And when you go to erase your board, you're going to need a paper towel, a tissue, an old sock, not the one from your foot, maybe even a piece of felt or something like that. And you can wipe, because wipe begins with W. Wipe away your marker and try it again. And make sure it's nice and clean. Now, before this video started, I did something magical. I took a white crayon and I wrote on white paper. And I made you something magical I want to show you. So, when I showed this piece of paper to you, do you see anything on it? No, you don't. But let's see if I can show you a little bit of magic writing. So I'm going to cover up my W that I have and clip on some white paper. And I'm going to get out my watercolors. I encourage you to do this after the video is done, once you see what happens. I'm going to dip my paintbrush into my water. And then I'm going to find a dark color. I love purple, so I'm going to use purple. Green would be another dark color. And remember, when you put your paintbrush in the watercolor paint, you have to swirl it around, and you might have to dip your brush back into the water and do it again so that you can get a lot of nice paint on your paintbrush. I'm going to then start painting lines on my paper. I don't know if you can see it yet, so I'm going to kind of go quickly. But as I paint, some magical things appear on my paper. Can you see it yet? Ooh, I wish I had the power to zoom in right now. Look at that. I'm going to make, let's see, do you see that? I think it's a letter under there. It happens to be the letter we were just talking about. Let's see if I can find a bigger one. Here I am, using my purple, adding lots of water, and painting straight lines quickly so that something magical shows up. Does anyone think they know what it is? I think I heard somebody say it. If you said W, you are right. I did almost like a secret code writing. I wrote in white crayon on white paper, and now with my watercolors, I can find these letters. And there it is, the letter W. And I actually made other W's all over the paper. So parents, a fun activity would be for you to take a white crayon and write their name or different letters on the paper, and then have them use their watercolors to go and hunt or find them, and then they could tell you what the letters are. Now, if we were still in school, we'd be working a lot on letter sounds. And so if you would like to reinforce that, you could be working on the different sounds that the letters make. And you don't have to know everything because obviously you're not all teachers, but just saying the beginning sound like W for W or L for L or S for S. Those would be great things for them to know before they enter school. So boys and girls. Oh, I see another W down there. Did you see that one? I forgot I put that one on there. I think I see one more, actually two more. Let's see if I can hunt and find two more. There's a space up here that's not colored in. There's another one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 W's that used to be on white paper in white crayon and now have purple over top. And down here is one more, which makes a total of, I think, 5. If you said 5, you are right. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 1, 2, 3 little W's and a big W and one medium-sized W. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you try to make W's in white crayon with watercolors. If you do this activity, or if you do some writing on your dry erase board, have somebody take a picture of it and send it to me. I'd love to see your work. Thank you, boys and girls, for joining me. Have fun working on your W's. See you soon. Bye-bye.